Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And as always, we have some juicy crypto news to cover, so make sure that you press that like button. Anyway, as you might already have noticed, today is not really that nice of a day for crypto. We've actually fallen down a significant bit, with Bitcoin going down roughly 2%, and I'd say most coins are actually within that range, except for AVAX, which is down 6.2%, and Shiba Inu, which is up 3%. Over on the 24 hours, we have a couple of caveats like IMX and Luna Classic that are doing pretty amazing, and then Aptos and DOIDX are doing pretty bad at minus 8%. Having said that, not too much about our trades has changed. As I've said before, I still have long positions open, and I'm going to keep it open for the time being. In yesterday's video, we covered a bullish and a bearish scenario. To elaborate on that, right now, most signals are showcasing that it's just going to be going upwards and upwards and upwards for Bitcoin, albeit that it might still take hundreds of days before we see a new all-time high. It's looking as if right now, and again, if you zoom in, this will become even more apparent, but it's looking as if right now we're just basically facing some resistance close to the 200 weekly moving average, just bouncing off of that after a very significant dip. Again, Bitcoin's price fell down by roughly 78% or so, and now has come up again another 65 or so percent. And I always like to kind of compare it back to the price action that we saw all the way back in January of last year, where the price for I think we're good. I wanted to say where the price went down by a significant margin as well. We went down roughly 52% before recouping then slightly afterwards by another 50%. And when I referred back to this, it's just to kind of state that you shouldn't expect this to be the bottom just because we went down 75%. No. We think it's the bottom based upon the idea that most of the indicators were showcasing bottoming out. If we look back at the major rally from 2017 though, it showcased going down about 86% before moving upwards. And again, here's what you have to understand. I think most people that are covering crypto right now are extremely immensely bullish on crypto. And the only thing we're questioning is when exactly is the best moment to buy the most of the coins? Because I personally think if you just keep buying every single day, in 2 years, we'll look back at this and all laugh at just how ridiculously cheap these things were. I honestly believe that from the bottom of my heart. I've been in this space for 10 years right now, and every single day, I remind myself to not be that loser who ever regrets not buying more crypto. So I just buy every single day. There's not a single day that goes by that I have not bought crypto in years. And for that perspective, it doesn't really matter. It is, however, interesting to kind of watch and see just how low this price can go. But from my own expectation, it's like we have now hit a major little roadblock. We could come down a little bit again. I wouldn't be too surprised to see 20,000 again. But generally speaking, the next direction from here on forward is upwards. And I think the biggest bottom is in. As I just also do not expect us to die as much as we've basically had over the last couple of years, as every single one of these cycles, Bitcoin's core community and core values and all that, they kind of like go to a little bit of a higher playing field every single time, a higher like bottom level. And so I personally don't think Bitcoin will ever go back to like the $10,000 range and whatnot. I think a worst case is indeed a slight bigger dip than what we've witnessed here. But then my bottom case scenario would be like all the way down here at roughly $12,000 for Bitcoin or so. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like this area right there of these major tops. But that's like a worst case scenario, and I don't expect that to happen. I do expect us to continue on with this upside. I'm just putting in a little scenario for in case. It's not a 100% chance that we're going to go up. It's just extremely, extremely likely. And so I'm preparing for only further upside and just buying every single day. And only, I have a little stash left, only if we get, towards like the $16,000 range or so. Again, I'm going to start really, really moving money that I really thought I would never move. But as of this point, proper risk management is in place, and just I buy a good chunk of crypto every single day that I can spare. Anyway, in terms of ADA, the price has been interesting, but most interesting is the news. We've had a very interesting couple of days for ADA, as we obviously had everything to do with Jed, the native stablecoin, and the crashing of it, or at least people are kind of cautious and afraid that the stablecoin now is going to have some sort of trouble that's then going to reflect onto Cardano. And it goes a little bit deeper than that. They're wondering how deeply rooted into the newer system it can get, because what exchange listings is it going to get? How far is it going to reach? As right now, it's still rather small, albeit that it says here it has a TVL of 11.7 million, and it's supposed to have a 400 to 800% reserve ratio, meaning, it would be pretty solid. But right now, I saw a couple of articles that stated that Cardano's Jed stablecoin was not doing so well in terms of price, which is, again, pretty strange because the reserve ratio is 633% right now. So again, the only thing could be that it's because of the amount that it's locked in ADA, not actual US dollars. It could be that that's the case, that people are fuddy or wary. But generally speaking, I think it's just FUD for the sake of FUD. As right now, Cardano, as you can see in this chart right here as well, hopefully you guys can see it perfectly, is facing some crucial resistance, and it's at roughly 40 cents, which is logical because it's a psychological barrier, but it's also some price action that, or I'd say some resistance, that we have faced over the last couple of months already. And yeah, I think it's just the two things combined. A little bit of fear from the people regarding Jed, and specifically just us hitting a very important resistance for Cardano. Moving on, Polygon shows strong 2023 start. What's behind its success? Again, I've said this many times before, but if I had to give you guys one or a couple cryptos to look into, I'd personally suggest to look into layer 2s, or to just name a few, I'd say Polygon, Optimism, and potentially Arbitrum. Just look into it for a second, because all those I think will explode over the next couple of years. But the best out of all these, I think, by far, is Polygon, for all the crazy institutional level partnerships they've been getting. You can see it right here. The surge is due to several factors, including increased institutional interest, new partnerships, and overall bullish sentiment in the crypto market. Most important is the first two pieces of this, as obviously every crypto is positively affected from bullish sentiment in the crypto market. Not every crypto has this crazy institutional interest and these crazy new partnerships. It's been doing pretty amazing, and I just wanted to quickly put that out there, that Matic right now is really, really on top of the game. By far one of the most bullish cryptos I can think of right now. And talking about bullish cryptocurrencies, Luna Classic, not a coin that I'm a big fan of, but all of a sudden, you can see it right here, is getting a crazy relief rally here, a crazy pump going. We already saw it in the rankings, but right now, it's one of the best performing coins, and I always wonder, but then I realize it's Luna Classic. I don't want to think about it too much. I don't want to talk about it too much. It's going pretty crazy though. And also, apparently, UST Classic, so the old UST, is also up like 60% today, albeit not in the top rankings anymore. It's pretty crazy to watch. And I wonder, are you guys still holding this crypto? I'm still holding all my UST. That's so much money. But hey, I hope they will still come up with some sort of relief plan. I guess as long as Do Kwon is not caught, nothing's going to happen. But I'll keep it in the back of my head that maybe, just maybe. Oh yeah, then a little bit regarding Bitcoin before we move over into Vechain. Bitcoin explosion to $1 million is now on the table, says quant analyst Plan B. Here's his latest forecast. The popular quantitative analyst Plan B is updating his forecast on Bitcoin after crypto kicked off the year with a strong rally. He just basically says the bottom is in for Bitcoin and predicts massive growth, which he's always done. And honestly, all we can do here is agree with him and say, yeah, the reason I keep on saying is that the bottom is most likely in, but not 100%, is because we have a target, which is that Bitcoin's all-time high is probably going to happen in about, let's say, a year and a half or so, or a couple hundred days from, like 500 days or so from now. That's what the majority of us are expecting. Now, from that perspective as well, if we look at the halving cycles, it's logical that over the next period of time, we just keep going up. But I've said it before, since everything is signaling a bottom, sometime, because this technology is rather new, we can see a little bit of a crazy crash, or maybe we'll see another FTX type of scenario, or maybe something along those lines. There's no excuse of, oh, there's not enough money, or there's not enough this, that. No, it's just some factor that we hadn't thought of just quite yet, or just the fact that, guys like Charlie Munger, all these guys are all of a sudden all going to bash it. Some things like that could happen. I don't think a major recession in the traditional indices or anything like that is going to take Bitcoin down as far, but it's still possible along the way to get towards greater heights. It's still possible, albeit very unlikely. Again, I want to make that clear. I am expecting crazy upside with potentially a little drawdown right now, maybe maximum 15% before just continuing towards the upside over the next days. But hey, Plan B is still set for $1 million. He says Bitcoin bottom is in. 2024 halving is $32,000 for Bitcoin. 2025 bull market is 100,000 plus for Bitcoin. Scenario could look like this. Note that 100,000 to a million yellow range estimate for 2025. Anyway, here's another interesting piece for Vechain. Apparently, Vechain aims to take Web3 by storm. Here's how. They've just announced Spiritual Rebirth, launch of the 2019 Vechain Summit, including the Hive, to achieve goals that create tangible economic value with blockchain technology. Yeah, Vechain has been doing a lot of good stuff on many different fields, actually. It's pretty wild. VET's digital ecosystem concept represents a milestone in achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which have a deadline of 2030, and Vechain aims to in that department. We look forward to unveiling more about digital ecosystems in our upcoming white paper, due by the end of this quarter. Join us as we kick off the incredible new epoch for sustainability, powered by real-world blockchain applications on the mighty Vechain Thor. They have said the foundation anticipates a productivity plateau in 2023, and it is confident that the blockchain Vechain Thor will become a leading platform in the coming years as adoption accelerates exponentially, in line with the Layer 1 smart contract platform. And again, they've been invigorated by a stream of positive developments and opportunities for growth of its community, and in the official post, they suggested that the Vechain Thor blockchain is ready to take center stage of the upcoming digital sustainable Web3 revolution, and basically, they're very excited for Vechain. Now, again, a little bit of side info. This event apparently will happen March 4th, so I sometimes wonder why they never invite me to this type of stuff. I talk about Vechain so ridiculously often, but I couldn't make it anyway. But hey, it's going to happen in Las Vegas as far as I heard, and I'm pretty excited for it. Not necessarily for the event, as again, I'm not going to be there, but for whatever comes out of this. So yeah, keep it in the back of your head, keep your eyes peeled. And yeah, that was it for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it, because that was all the crypto news that I could find for today. All the most important parts: Cardano, Polygon, Luna Classic, Vechain, and a little bit about Bitcoin and the crazy predictions. That's the most important pieces I could find. If there's anything else or anything very important, I'll cover it. So make sure you stop by on the channel every couple of hours and have the notification bell on. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today. We'll probably talk a little bit more about XRP later today, so stick around for that.